Hi, my name is Robbie Wong and I want to share 5 hidden features found inside the Olympus OMD camera. In my recent videos, I've shared a few tips that will potentially benefit you in your everyday use of the Olympus OMD cameras. However, in this particular video, I will share some hidden features, and these features are rarely used and rarely mentioned. That doesn't mean that these features are not useful, and in some situations, they can actually make a difference as well. So let's do this. Tip number 1, moving autofocus points with spot metering. Typically, when we move the arrow pad up, down, left, right to move the AF target area around the screen, this works independently from the camera's metering. So we will select the area that we want to be in focus. That has nothing to do with metering, the exposure, or how the camera calculates the brightness of the screen. So we select the focus, and then we also do the metering separately. We select the focusing point, and we do the exposure compensation separately. This is a typical operation for most cameras, especially Olympus cameras. This is true for all the metering modes. However, if we dive into the menu, we go to E3 under spot metering and we enable the spot. Now, if we toggle the info button, it shows that for selected item, metering will be executed in the area of the AF target. With this selected, we have to be very careful now when we use the spot metering. This is only applicable for spot metering. The exact location where we place the autofocus point, the camera will use that point to calculate the spot metering. So the exposure is calculated based on that exact spot. Now I can think of some advantages using this method. However, I prefer to do my autofocus as well as my metering operations separately. It is entirely up to you how you choose to control your camera's autofocus or exposure settings. Even if you use this spot metering plus autofocus point moving around, you can still use the exposure compensation to further fine-tune that particular spot. Tip number 2, you can record a sound clip and attach that to a photograph. This feature has been around in Olympus cameras since the Olympus Pen EP1. That's more than 10 years ago. Now, once a photograph is taken, we have to preview the image, and from the preview we press OK, and there is that microphone icon here. If you press that microphone icon, you get to the sound recording. The recording clip can record the sound for up to 30 seconds. Fuck Batman! You can say whatever you want, or you can record the ambient clip. Now once this is recorded, the clip will be saved as a separate WAV file. This will also be attached and be used on the same file name together as the RAW file or the JPEG file. Tip number 3, pixel mapping. After several years of use with your camera, the image sensor may suffer dead or stuck pixels. This will show in every single one of your photographs taken with the camera. Now, Olympus has the built-in pixel mapping. Enabling this feature, you will successfully get rid of any dead or stuck pixels in the photographs. You don't have to send the camera to the service center. You can do this yourself. To enable pixel mapping, go to Menu, under J1, then we go to pixel mapping. There is just as simple as pressing start. Now once this is enabled, it will take some time for the camera to map the entire pixels on the image sensor. This is a very convenient way for us to get rid of any stuck or dead pixels. Traditionally, and even in a lot of cases in cameras today, you are required to send the camera back to the service center for them to remap the image sensor. Olympus has the foresight to include this in the camera for our convenience. Tip number 4, focus limiter. Now this particular feature is unique to Olympus EM1 Mark II and EM1X. So Olympus has included a digital focus limiter which works with any lens that you attach onto the camera. To enable the focus limiter, go to Menu, Cogs, under A3, there, Autofocus Limiter. Now turn it on. We have 3 separate settings. We can set 3 custom modes. We'll just choose one, and you can customize the minimum and the maximum distance. Now, the focusing will only work within the distance that has been specified. This is very crucial, especially shooting in some scenarios. For example, shooting through a cage where we don't want the lens to hit the grill or the cage in front of us. For example, shooting at a zoo. We can also use this in situations where there are a lot of foreground distractions and we want the camera or the lens to just focus right into the subject which is further away from you rather than what's in front of you. For example, now if I want to shoot something behind, then this Robin mini Lego figure will not be the distraction for us anymore. Now similarly, if I want to shoot something really far away, then I will have to select a much further minimum distance as well as the maximum distance. Let's say I want to focus on a building that's really far away. So then I will go to just 99.9 meters, that's close to infinity. Once that has been enabled, now we will see that we can go straight to the building at the back, that's the Diabumi building. We can focus it and we cannot focus on anything that is in front of us anymore. I'm sure some of you will find this feature very useful for your own shooting scenarios. Tip number 5, in-camera RAW processing. Now, if you're shooting RAW, you can actually develop the RAW file inside the camera utilizing the TruePic 8 processor. Not only can you convert RAW to JPEG, you can apply numerous adjustments and settings onto the image file itself. Sometimes we are stuck in the situations where we have no access to a computer. So having the ability to quickly adjust the images, crop, adjust a little bit of exposure compensation and white balance tweak, this will actually save lives. A very powerful image processing capability in the camera for us to use to process the image if we want to. Now go to the image, then press OK and select Custom 1. Within here, we will have all the options that we can choose to adjust the image parameters. We can choose which picture mode that we want, either we want to shoot in black and white or any art filters. And to preview this setting that we have chosen, just press the record button. Let's say we want to go to one of the art filters. Let's choose pinhole 3 there. Then let's try another one, say vintage, there. Just hit the record button and the instant preview will show you what the image looks like. I want to go back to natural because that's what I usually prefer. We can also change the white balance, any of the presets, or we can also use the custom white balance if we want to. Now, of course, I don't want to complicate things. Let's just put it back to automatic. Moving on, we can use exposure compensation. If the photo is underexposed, we can bring up the exposure, or if it's overexposed, we can bring it back down. Now, to apply the setting or to confirm the setting, all you have to do is just press the preview, which is the record button. We can also adjust the shadow and highlight separately. Then we can adjust the shadow, lift it up or suppress it. We can adjust the midtones as well as toning down the highlight. Now, all this can be adjusted within the camera while we are developing the RAW file, which is fantastic. There's also the option to do noise filter or adjusting any of the aspect ratio. Once everything is confirmed, just hit the OK button and the developing process will start. It is as simple as that, and I think that this will be very beneficial for a quick delivery of a few images. Say that you just need to deliver 5 images. All you have to do is just spend about 5 minutes or less adjusting the right settings and exporting it out as JPEG. You can then transfer it to your phone and deliver it to your client. That's all the tips I have for this video. I hope you have found some of them useful. Please let me know if you have used any of these features before in your own shooting, or are they as hidden as I thought they were. Also, if you have other hidden tips that I have not shared that you think that will benefit everyone else, please share it and leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. If you have enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider to subscribe to this channel, and I will definitely see you again in the next one. Until then, please go out and take more photographs. Bye-bye.